Hello and Happy New Year to you. Happy 2025. I hope that you had a wonderful Christmas and New Year and you got a chance to enjoy yourselves and maybe have a little rest. And I'm hoping that you're feeling all refreshed and ready for an exciting new year ahead. Now, I'm going to do a weekly tarot today. It's going to be from Sunday, the 5th of January up until Saturday, the 11th of January. I'm going to continue doing weekly. I know I used to do dailies. But as you know, I'm setting up a business which is taking quite a lot of energy and time in my complementary therapy, my crystal healing and reflexology that I do here in Wickford. So yeah, I'm just trying to manage all the things that I do and leave some time to have some relaxing time as well. It's my New Year's resolution to maybe take life a little bit slower. Who knew, eh? Only took me 50 years. So today I'm going to use a selection of tarot, oracle and angel cards for you. It's always really exciting at the start of a new year because we do look ahead and wonder what's in store for us. I personally do a yearly forecast for myself where I lay cards out for the sort of, each month, and I kind of think about the themes and maybe what that's involved. There's a little bit of prediction involved, which, isn't necessarily what tarot's about. But what I also do with that yearly forecast is I keep it in my diary, and then I look back at the end of each month at how those cards resonated or showed up in my life over those months. And it's an amazing tool for self-reflection and learning a little bit about the tarot and a little bit about yourself. Now, I do offer those yearly readings at this time of year, so it's something that interests you. Do get in touch. You've obviously got my website on the description. You can just email me if you'd like to know a little bit more. But yeah, I do offer those. Or if you just want a general reading, then do book a reading with me. And I would love to see you. But for now, let's see what comes in for this week ahead. I'm going to start with my Rider-Waite because that's where I started in the world. Okay, it's really interesting. The King of Wands has turned up because I shuffled and shuffled those cards, but he was actually facing me as I got this pack out today to do this reading. I'm loving the fact he's sitting down. Obviously, with Wands cards, it's about energy, it's about action, it's about creation, it's about fire and movement. But I feel like the King of Wands is sitting there going, yep, been there, done that, thank you. And I get people to do that for me. And he's kind of looking out at all that he rules over, but actually not doing an awful lot of the work himself. I think the King of Wands comes up in our life when we need to take on the idea of delegation in our life. Maybe we're not that we have to use people, I don't mean it like that, but if you're the person that runs a family and you feel a little bit aggrieved by the fact that they're all sitting down doing nothing, maybe it's that self-reflection. Maybe they're too frightened to do something in case you think if they've done it wrong, or maybe you just need to ask, or maybe they don't know that you don't like running around because you do it all the time. So just thought that's what you did. It's very interesting when this masculine energy comes in because it can be a masculine person around you, somebody that has that masculine energy, and you can identify this, that perhaps that's the obstacle in your life, the man that sits there and watches everybody else run around. Or maybe this is inviting you to be that person a little bit. Sit back. We all tend to get involved, don't we, a little bit more than we should, and that's something that I learned. Had a conversation with my partner a couple of days ago about my son's nearly 18, so I'm going to kind of step back and allow him to be an adult. And then 20 minutes later I was trying to organise his New Year's Eve, and my partner was like, did you know what you just said 20 minutes ago? So it's a learning curve for all of us. And I think we can take that message from the King of Wands without judgment, because we don't realise sometimes the habits that we get into or the habits other people get into. So maybe that's a conversation that needs to be had. That's an interesting one, isn't it? Or just a moment of self-reflection of where you could be a little bit more King of Wands. So let's see, let's have another tarot card pack now, the Light Seers. Okay, we've got the Seven of Swords. Now I really want to stick with this King of Wands here because I do feel that the Seven of Swords comes in when we are overthinking or assuming we know what's going on or really aren't sure what's going on. There's an element of communication here, and I think communication can be really difficult when we're stuck in our own heads because we assume what the other person is doing. We assume what the other person is thinking. And also, the thoughts in our heads, we see them as facts. We don't always see them as just our point of view or us projecting on what might happen coming up. There's all sorts of issues that can flag up with this Seven of Swords. And again, I really feel this King of Wands is connected, because I do feel this King is coming in to say you could manage so many of your areas of your life well or a little bit better if you stop making these assumptions, stopped allowing thoughts to take over your brain and maybe catastrophize a little bit. Excuse Poppy there, she just heard someone coming in, so I've just let her out. But yeah, this is a helpful card, I think, because we can feel very alone and vulnerable when we see this card, but actually some of that is our own creation, so we can work through that. It does come up when there's trust issues. It comes up when we are really unsure of what's going on. But again, I feel like this King of Wands is, okay, so you don't know, so sit back. Don't wade in, assuming you know everything. Just sit back and look and listen and learn. You know, kings get to where they are because they have got wisdom and, you know, a certain... and a knowledge that you know comes with that power, doesn't it? And I also feel the King of Wands is very much about slowing down, which is unusual for Wands, but again, it's that sitting and pondering and thinking and actually, how could I work this situation better, rather than letting our minds go away with us. I really want to just draw your attention to this crow here, squawking in the foreground. Maybe there is somebody in your world at the moment that is really causing you, like literally you wake up in the morning and you're thinking about that person. I would say if that's the case, it could be a family member, it could be a child, you know, even if they're 4 or 40, they can still cause us issues, can't they? It could be somebody that you work with, it could be somebody that's come back into your life that's causing you a little bit of an issue. It might even be something that's still lingering from something that happened over Christmas where you think, you know what, I let that person get under my skin and it's really bugging me. But I do want to just remind you that every thought in your head is put there because you allow it in, okay? So if you're thinking too much about someone or a situation, again, you are in charge of your, you know, your energy. And that's what the King of Wands is saying. You're in charge of who is invited to sit in your brain or not, as the case may be. Now, I'm using another tarot pack here, but these are the Animal Tarot. I've not used these for a while, so I thought I'd bring them out because I know a lot of you really love these cards. Who have we got today? Lovely. We've got another 7 cards. And it's the 7 of Shells. I love this beautiful sea lion with his lovely little face. And some of the shells are above him and some are below. And I feel, again, that is the mixture of the up in the air and down in the water of the emotions. Sea lions are mammals, but they live in the, you know, obviously live in the sea, like on land. So there's that kind of, you know, being in 2 places and needing to adapt to situations that we get with the sea lion. Yeah, so when they're on land, they would act differently to how they are in the sea. They're less restricted when they're in the sea because they can just glide and they're little, you know, they're not as comfortable and easy to move on land. And, you know, we get that, don't we? We are made up of lots of different versions of us. There's, you know, work person, there's home life person, there's you looking for your higher purpose, there's that person that's the inner child. We've got so many versions of ourselves. It's like, you know, there's only one actually walking about, but in our head there's about 20. And not in a schizophrenic way, but you get what I mean. And I just feel that this is about adapting. I'm loving the rainbow. We often see with these shell cards, with this pack, the rainbows are there to see. And I do want to say about looking for that rainbow, looking for the good, looking for the gratitude. You can't be anxious and grateful in the same headspace. So I feel with the sevens coming in, the 2 sevens coming in, I do feel that there's a bit of an endurance test here for you. But with sevens as well comes wisdom and knowledge and spiritual advancement. So the universe never gives you any more than you can handle. So if you feel like you've got a lot going on at the moment, just remember that it is a test. It could potentially be quite a testing time. It could be the opportunity for you to really put into practice things that you want to develop in your own life. Maybe you are really putting in some boundaries. So this is like a little bit of a final test before you move on to another chapter of your life. But I do kind of feel like you're going to know exactly what these sevens are all about. And obviously this is a collective message, so you're all different. So I don't want to give loads and loads of examples. But if you do need a little bit more understanding or a little bit more of an in-depth reading, then obviously just give me a shout. You can email or you can book a reading via my website. Okie doke. So let's have a look at what Oracle card comes out now for us. And we have got sudden changes. Disruption has entered your world. Rebalance. I believe we had this, and I've got really bad memory, so you probably remember better than me. I think we had this just before we broke up for Christmas. My last message, I think, was this one. And as you saw, I shuffled the cards. Sometimes things do come out again because we haven't quite got over that situation. So, you know, we assume that 2025, it's a new start, new life, tra-la-la-la. But obviously we all get situations that drag into the new year or move with us into the new year. Maybe drag's not the right words. But, you know, maybe something has happened and you have had to take this time to just stop and think about the consequences of that. But I'm really interested about the fact that regardless of the disruption that's saying in this card, this lady is laying back floating. And there's a real message there, because I do feel the idea of rebalancing when something happens in our life and things are shaken up a bit, or, you know, get new news come in that's kind of transformed our world a little bit, or something's happened to us. We can very easily forget all the things that we do to keep ourselves balanced. So, you know, it could be walking in nature. It could be just keeping an eye on what you're eating and drinking, and that you're not comfort eating. It could be more sleep. It could be more water. It could be, now maybe this is, I know I'm a complementary therapist now, so I do sort of sing the praises of treatments, but yeah, maybe it is Reiki or reflexology or something that you do, working with your crystals to help you rebalance. That can very easily get forgotten over the Christmas period, especially if we've been very busy, very frantic, or hosting a lot of different things, being in a lot of places. People travel a lot over the holidays. If you've got in-laws or, you know, children further away, you do tend to do a little bit of traveling as well. So I feel like that's come in to just reiterate that that's what we were at the end of the year. So let's keep it as a theme and make sure that whatever comes in, we do stay balanced. Maybe that's our New Year's resolution. I know it's kind of what I'm saying to myself every day. So maybe we all should. Okay, let's see what angel comes in for us. For a little message for 2025. Let's see who's here. Celeste. Okay. Right, this says, a happy move to a new home or place of employment is in the works. The movement will usher in positive new energy. So I do go back to those sevens now. I do feel like this is a final test before you level up to something new. I remember the angel message of Christmas just before we finished for Christmas. And my last message was, you know, something exciting's happening, something new's happening. So I do feel that the King of Wands, the Seven of Swords, the Seven of Cups is about getting rid of that dead wood and that negative, unnecessary ways of thinking and feeling once and for all. So stick with it, because it's going to get rid of what you need to get rid of to get this lovely new fresh energy in. So yeah, but this happy move, not a stressful move, not a terrible move, a happy move is indicated. So around your home maybe, or in your work, it might just even be a mindset to make your work and home feel like a happier place, if you see what I mean, and not a physical change, just a different way to react to those environments. So there we go. That sounds really happy and exciting and positive once we get through those little challenging bits. But you know what? Life would be boring, wouldn't it, if we didn't have the odd challenge come to meet us. So I hope everything is good for you. I will be back again next week. Don't forget, if you do want a reading, please do get in touch. I would love to read for you. And as you know, I work on Zoom, so it doesn't matter where you are in the world. But if you do book a reading, please note that the times on my calendar are my times in UK, so check your time differences before you book. Okay, do like and subscribe and share this to anyone that you think might need to hear it. Have a wonderful week. Bye for now.